and I am from Philadelphia, moved here to Georgia. It'll be almost 4 years, I believe, in November. And I am a former hairstylist, 27 years. I slaved behind the chairs. And in 2008, I was going through a divorce. And when I was going through that divorce, I was broke, 300 pounds, depressed, wanted to take my life. I didn't really think that my life was worth living at that point. And I had one son in college, one son in high school, and one daughter that was in elementary school. That was way before Paige came along. And I was introduced to a concept like I hear everyone else was introduced to as well in the MLM space, even though I was running a salon. And my salon, when I opened up my salon, it cost me $20,000 to open up that salon. And I never recouped the income. Because I see all of us are entrepreneurs. We all know that it costs something, right? It costs us to make money. Yes or yes? Yes or yes, right? Okay, and so fast forward, I made a lot of money. I was ignorance on fire. I stayed in the salon, but then in 2014, I saw that there were people that looked like me that were having massive success, and I decided that, you know what, if they could do it, I could do it too. I had seen stories of people that were on stage that were strippers, and I was like, well, I ain't been a stripper. Right, I ain't do that. I didn't do that. Now I did some things, but I ain't do that. And I figured, well, if they could be a stripper and this one could come from behind the bars and make a whole lot of money, I had never done any of those things. I went on to now earn multiple seven figures in the profession of network marketing, but I don't lead with network marketing. My brand is get well and get wealthy. And I teach people how to get well and wealthy using biblical principles, now non-ingredient supplements. See, it used to be all natural supplements, but there's one better. There's always a level better, and the level better is non-ingredient. We're gonna talk a little bit too, right, later. So I've been in the wellness space. I've dropped over 175 pounds. I promise I'm never ever gonna look for it again. But I've made a lot of money and helped a whole lot of other people do it too, right? And using the same concept that Mr. Brown talked about, we share information because sharing is caring, and that's what we're here to do, right? So let me talk to you a little bit about a very big pivot that I took recently because I see the way of the world is changing. Do we all agree that the way of the world is changing? Yes or yes? Yeah. Right. It's changing rapidly. Right. AI is not for the future. AI is here, and it's been here for quite a while. And so as I began to see that the way of the world was changing, and I realized that if you really, really want to make some money, you got to stay with the trends and stay with the times. You got to move with the way that the world is moving. And so I kind of looked at what I was doing with supplementation and supplements, and this person taking this many pills and that many pills and this shake and that shake. And the one thing, and I'm not here to down any company at all, but what I do understand is that most network marketing companies is nothing but a race to the bottom. And you can agree with me or not, but it is. It's the reality that if you got a coffee now, I got a coffee. And if you got a tea now, I got a tea. And you got a shake and I got a shake. And all of those things are they're white labeling products to overcharge for them and just keep competing against each other. I was introduced to a concept that I said no to because I was like, I don't want to do another company. But what I also realized is I always teach better people not to allow your good to be the enemy of your great, or your great to be the enemy of your best. So I am not loyal to what's not working. And I'm also not loyal to what's in the past. All right. And so I was selling supplements, and I saw some things happening in a company that weren't real professional, like back orders of products and things like that. And I made a decision after saying no many times to a young lady that called me in January about a patch. And I was like, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I didn't look at the video. She asked me again in February, did you look at that video? I said, no, I haven't looked at the video. I was very, very closed-minded, something I teach people not to do. Then again, we launched a new product in the supplement company that I was in, and it went on back order right away. And that's when I was a little bit open, because I had asked and begged, can we not have these products going out of stock? Because you're not in business if you don't have, right? Well, what happened was in early March, I decided to take a look at the video half-heartedly. Then I sent the video to my husband and I said, I need you to watch this video for me, because I don't have the bandwidth to watch a 25-minute video. I got a little bit of ADD as a grown-up. And I 25 minutes, like for me, it was like, I can't do that. If I get a long text message, I pass the phone to my husband because I can't read it. My brain shuts down. So he watched the video and he said, Nina, I really do think you need to watch this video. I'm very intrigued. Now, Tim, you know Paul ain't the guy. When it comes to, he gonna support, but he ain't the one that's like, no, I think you need to look at this. So after I said, you intrigued? Oh, okay, I figured maybe I need to watch this video. Well, I sent it to 2 doctor friends of mine, and one immediately called me because doctors have a different kind of brain that they, everything is scientific for them. She watched the video and she said, Nina, if you have your hands on this product, you're going to be very, very wealthy. And I said, I am? Well, let me watch the video. I watched the video. I was halfway sold. I was halfway sold with the video. Halfway. I was intrigued. I flew to Canada, and I promise I'm going to be about another 7 or 8 minutes. I flew to Canada to meet the owner, who was a minority as well. I was very intrigued by the fact that this minority owner spent 16 years of his life and $25 million of his own money doing research and development. I can put my stamp of approval on a product that I know has been tried and tested, and because he designed this company and this patch for his mama who had MS. So I said, okay, there's a passion behind the reason why you wanted to design a patch to save your mama who was wheelchair bound 1 year after finding out that she had MS. After leaving there, I was sitting in the airport. I flew in that morning. I was leaving there that evening. I was sitting in the airport having lunch. I went on Facebook like most of us do while we're sitting in the airport, right? We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. I go on Facebook and I see a young lady that I know crying on Facebook. I watched the story. I clicked on it. She's crying because she has 2 sets of twin boys. She has 2 sets of twin boys. I'm going to say it to this side over here. She has 2 sets of twin boys, 8-year-olds and 18-month-olds. Her 8-year-old twin boys are level 3 autistic, nonverbal, with ADHD. She's crying because one of her sons had begun to exhibit what they call aggressive behaviors. And those of you who know children that are on the spectrum sometimes exemplify or will show aggressive behaviors. She was very upset because he had never shown aggressive behaviors before. She said, I had to take him to the hospital. He had cut his head open. He was hurting people, hurting himself, hurting everyone in the house, not sleeping for almost a month. I called her immediately. I said, Ashley, I got something in my hands right now. I don't know what it's going to do for you. What I do know is it has no ingredients. So this product is safe for infants. It's safe for 90-year-olds. I had never had a product that I could put on a baby, expecting mom, a nursing mom, because there are no ingredients. It's beyond not being toxic. If there are no ingredients that I can put it on a baby and a 90-year-old too. I said, I don't know what the product's going to do for you. But if you would let me overnight you some patches, how about we just see what happens? She said, Mrs. Moorer, I will do anything. How many of us know we'll do anything for our children? We'll do anything for our moms, our dads, right? How many of you know that statistics prove that when someone is over the age of 70, if they fall, within 1 to 3 years, 1 out of every 3 people who fall after the age of 70 will be unalived within 1 year of fall. That is a statistical fact. Not just that, if you increase somebody's balance and stability and strength and mobility, guess what? Statistics also prove that you live longer. Is there anybody in the room that wants to live longer? Okay, well, we got everybody except for those 3 back there. Okay, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't know a person that doesn't want to live longer. That wasn't even a trick question. Let me ask you one more time. Is there anybody in this room that wants to live longer? Okay, everybody. That's what I thought. I mean, I thought so, right? And so we overnighted the products, the patches to Ashley. I just wanted to see if they were going to work because I wasn't sold. I didn't sign. I just got the patches, met the owner, heard his story, went home. She called me the next morning after receiving the patches, FaceTimed me with her son still asleep in the bed, crying. She said, I don't know what this patch is. She said, but he ain't slept in months. And he slept through the whole night. And I was like, really? Now, mind you, I ain't really that sold yet. I don't know what the patch is going to do. So that day, I began calling everybody I knew that was on a cane, that was in a walker, that was on a, I need you to try this patch for me. Because I need you to make me a believer. I need to know that I 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 know that this is going to work. Ashley began to have very, very good, literally to the point where her sons are on no medication. They're sitting and doing work. It is documented by the doctors that they're not on medication, that they're using non-medicated patches. And I don't make any medical claims. I'm just letting you know now that Ashley's sons are beginning to speak. Wow. So I sent the patches to Sheila. Sheila Bell Burgess had a torn meniscus. She was in pain and on a cane for 9 months. First day she used the patches, she said, Coach, the pain didn't go away. I said, no problem, keep using them. Because the pain patch is not always going to be immediate for everybody, depending on the severity of your situation. The next day she said, Coach, the pain dulled today. But by day 3, there's something magical that happens on day 3. She's no pain and no cane in 3 days. So needless to say, in the last week, we launched May 1st, because mind you, for 30 days, I didn't want to hear it. We launched May 1st, and we put in over 2,000 people in our team. Over 2,000. Not because of a personality. I only do 1 call a week on a Monday night. Tim, how many calls did I used to do? 7 days a week, right? Multiple times a day. I do 1 call a week on a Monday night. One call, because here's the deal. You just got to get patched to believe me. Because if you don't believe me, I'm going to make you a believer like I made Dr. Kelly a believer today. So here's the deal. I'll tell people they don't even have to join. Because I literally have already done some very incredible things, which normally happens because I know how to do what I do. But something better happens. Something bigger happens when you're passionate about the results that you see people getting. When I know that Mr. James was in a wheelchair and hadn't walked for 4 years, put a patch on, he needed assistance to walk, but now he gets up out of the wheelchair and 7 days later, he's walking on a walker, you can't tell me nothing about the patch. Here's another thing that happened. My mama came and visited us April 29th of this year. I hadn't seen my little mama, she's Japanese, in 7 years. I had no idea that my mom, she never said a word about the fact that she had arthritis. She never said a word about her being hunched over and couldn't walk straight. She never said a word about not being able to go up and down steps. And when she came to visit us, we put her in the upstairs bedroom. She never said a word. She just went 1 step, like she just kept stepping up the steps like this. Mm-hmm. I waited 2 days to put a patch on her. I didn't want to rush it right on her. Put the patch on her. 10 minutes later, she's like this. I can feel my hands. I don't have no pain. I'm moving my legs up and down. And mama starts going up and down my steps like she was 45. So once you see it for yourself, Acts 4:20 says, it was Peter and John, I can't unsee what I saw. And I can't unhear what I heard. I'm going to keep casting out these demons in Jesus' name. You can put me in jail if you want to. I'm going to tell you now that I can't unsee what I've seen. I can't unhear what I've heard. But it is only $1 to join my team until the end of June. $1. $1 doesn't get you a patch. $1 gets you a position. It gets you a website. It gets you a back office. Because I'm not chasing reps. What I'm doing now is chasing stories. Because I want to see people have a quality of life. The life that we were designed to live. And that is a life of wellness and wealth. My name is Nina Moore.